Okay, so just finished replacing this capacitor and two more in behind here you can't see. 3 capacitors on the tone control, and this resistor is next. And what's happening here is I don't know. I don't know what's happening. The resistor broke off. You can see it broke right there, and the connection wire is back here somewhere. Maybe it's been pushed aside or something. And I've tried to find this resistor on the schematic, and I have not been successful yet. So that's where we're going to start. What is this resistor doing here, and what should I do about its broken state? Now where is that other lead wire? Where did it go? It's quite easily seen here. There it is. It's right here. No, that's not it. Where'd you go, buddy? Yikes! What happened? Did it break off? It's not in the bottom here, is it? No. Where'd my wire go? Gee, I didn't worry about it when it broke off because it was so obvious. What's going on here? I don't like this. Ay, 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 ay. Well, I'm totally lost here. I cannot find the wire, and I cannot remember so clearly. I don't know where this other end actually went because I was counting on the lead wire. So I'm going to pause for a moment here and look at some of my videos and figure out what I'm doing. Okay, well, it only took me a moment to realize I was just looking in the wrong place for the wire, which is actually down here. There it is right there. There it is. So it's connecting to the top of one of those large filter capacitors in a red wire that heads off into the radio. And it's coming from the switch now. How am I supposed to figure this out anyway? So it's connected on the back of this switch. This is the same one with the 2 white wires, which I identified as this. So this has to be it. So this has to be it. This has to be it here. This wire here, following along there. What's happening in this white space here? Uh-oh, a little bit of schematic missing right there. But I'm pretty sure it would connect up this way. Back here. There's the volume control. No resistor on the way. Come up here. No resistor on the way there. Okay, so here's another wire comes back this way up here, all the way over here, all the way up here, and then you encounter this resistor, R7, which goes to ground, R7. Okay, so R7, 470K. Say a quarter watt or 14 watts. It can't be 14. Quarter watt. So 470 would be purple, yellow something. It's not at all the colors on that. Hey, let's read the resistance on that resistor. Even though that could be misleading, it's something we can do and get a little more information here about what we're looking at. Looks like 14K to me. 14.2K ohms, and it's, if the colors are right, it's a 15K, 15K. So it is the value it claims to be. Now 15K. So if we look at the resistors here, and I tried this earlier and it didn't work out, and we look for a 15K. 15K. There's one, R6, 2 watt. There you are, right there, R6. There's another one, R2, R6. Let's check out R6, because that looks like a higher wattage resistor than a 1 watt. R6 is going to be over here somewhere. That's R2. That's R5 there. R3 it looks more like. R5. There, it might be up here. R4, that's R6. Yeah, it's coming right off that line up there. And that line straight over to C42. Bingo. So it's going to be R6. Now, what is R6 doing down on the switch? The tone switch. When it's up here doing duty up here, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? That really doesn't make a lot of sense. Wait a minute. Is that R? Well, that's R4. Here's R6. R6 goes down. Hey, look. The wire goes down, down. Oh, hey! Right into the switch. Well, I think that's the answer, isn't it? R6. Very good. Excellent. Okay, R6. 15K 2 watt. 15K. So we get a 15K resistor here. We'll stick it in there. Okay, so I've got some 15K, and like I was saying before, I think these are 5 watt resistors. There's certainly at least 2 watts. So so we're going to connect to this pin here. I think I can get this resistor right off pretty easily. Careful, my hand's underneath the solder. There, that's a good example of how to loosen up the connection. This resistor is a scrapper, so I'm just going to be throwing it out. So I don't care about And maybe I won't throw this out. Oh yeah, I gotta throw it out. It's got no lead on it, unfortunately. There we are. To the garbage with you. And we'll put on this guy here. Now he's got to reach down to this, or this terminal back here. This floating terminal that I sure don't like. I sure don't like it. Now the reason that's back here like this, floating along, I don't know if you can even see it. It's because when I replaced the original filter caps, these new ones, I cut them free, and this always leaves a terminal problem. Now you can put in a terminal strip, all that kind of stuff to compensate, but I just to let the bundle up kind of do it. Now we can go down through here, get on that. I don't think there's any other local places to go. It's got to go down there. We have this wire coming up here. So let's pull the insulation off this wire. So I go down and heat that big clump up, there's a good chance that it's going to come apart. And I'm going to have a bunch of wandering wires down there. A lot of corrosion on some of this stuff. You know what it is? Yeah, you probably can't see, but if you look right inside this tube, you can see green. Now, green, of course, is copper oxide, copper sulfide, copper sulfate, copper something. Probably copper oxide. No, copper oxide is brown. So it's copper something. Could be, yeah. And so, well, if you're going to have a chemical reaction, you need the components. Copper is one component. The other component is coming out of this insulation. Some kind of vapor, something of that sort. And we're talking, you know, decades and decades to have an effect. But I think that's what we're seeing, is the effect of the insulation on the wire. So a lot of chemistry going on, even though we might not think of it that way, all the time around us. I guess chemists are well aware of it. So what I got to do here is I got to clean enough of this copper wire that there's shiny copper showing, and then we'll be able to solder to it, even if it's not completely clean. It looks terrible. It really doesn't look cleaned at all. It's one of those wires I had trouble with connecting to a few connections ago. I really want this to work. Okay, so let's slide our corrosion maker back onto it. Swing. Every time I stick my fingers into a radio like this, I get a little nervous, which is good. You can't see it, but I quickly look at the power plug every time. Good habit to be in. So we'll stick our resistor here onto, look, it's got the same colors, brown, green, orange, same colors as the other one. That's reassuring. I want this to go here and go up to here. I'm really wrapping this around the other wire because I know there's going to be a connection problem here, so I'm giving lots of surface there to connect to. I could even put a little rosin on it. Generally you don't put rosin into radios because a lot of rosin has acid in it, and you don't want acid in your radio. But frankly, we're talking about minuscule amounts. Hey, who took my solder? Here it is. We're talking about minuscule amounts. once I have this resistor in, we will test the radio. That's soldered nicely. Put some pants on that wire. Can't be in public with bare legs like that. And then we're just gonna put a little bend here at the top, like a hook. Hook them. It's hooked there. A little dab of solder ought to do it. There you have it. Now, because this is a little bit of a floater here, just want to make sure that there's nothing bad happening. There is a ground wire running right next to it here. See if I can lift the ground wire farther away. Not that they're in contact, and that floating connection really cannot drift too much. Trying to lay some of these wires back up against the chassis like they were. There we go. You know what? I think it's time to test. I think it's time to test. I really do. So if we're going to test them, we got to hook up a speaker or we won't be hearing much at all. Go on there. You know what? I can go on this terminal here. I don't have to reach so far into the radio. Okay, so speaker connected. Hey, how about an antenna? That might be a nice thing. Whoops. Put the antenna on. Okay. Put some tools away here before we turn this on. It's just a little bit of very simple safety thing I do. I don't want to let my shop be too cluttered when I start operating things. Keep those guys. Nothing wrong with them. They should separate them. Do that a little later. Because those resistors will find their way into another radio at some point. Capacitors floating around here. Okay. Now, we don't need that there. Let's get rid of these wires. I think we're ready. My voltmeter handy. So we can take some measurements if we want. Maybe we'll be listening to beautiful music. So this is a big difference now. It made a big difference in this control. It may have a big impact on the volume. Volume's turned down. And the radio's, I think it's switched on, so I think we're, ouch. One last real safety check. Hey, not going to work well until we do something with this. And we are ready. By the way, this radio is being powered through an isolation transformer. We are all set. So watch this meter. And just looking over my work here just to be sure, because a few things that are a little too close together for easy comfort. I think we're good. I think we're good. Here we go. Okay, we're going on current limiting. Bingo, there we are. And I'm watching this meter. And there goes the plate current. And the radio should be operating now. Oh, the volume works much, much better. Okay, we still got something weird going on, but that could be even the setting of this tone control. It's always been kind of weird. And we're getting, see, we're still getting some kind of oscillation going on. You know, you can have oscillations in a radio, you can't even hear them. They're too high of a frequency. And they can be messing up your radio, you can't even hear them. Sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? That could be this tone control. Let's change it. I'll turn down the volume a little bit before I do that. There's that. That's like lots of bass, a little less bass. Something going wrong there. Something wrong there. Something wrong there. So it's interesting. It's wrong in a few positions and not in others. That might be enough of a hint to help us track down what it is. But we've definitely made an improvement here in the radio. Hey, let's give it full. We haven't got it full voltage. Here we go. That was a big jump just now, from 100 to 124. Sounds different again. Sound like anything terrible happening? I don't think so. It's radioing, but I smell something cooking again. I don't think it's lunch, even though it's lunchtime. Ooh-ah! That's hot. So once again, maybe it's just burning off its easily volatilized materials. It'll stop smelling shortly. Well, that's pretty good. I think we're coming along here. I think we're getting one step at a time. You know, there's a lot of capacitors in here. I'm really got to wonder now, what was I doing before? I was probably removing the existing capacitor. Can't read its size. Got to make a judgment or a guess. Guessing wrong in many cases because I was a little bit stupider back then. I was less stupid than I am now. And you know, so I look at this orange drop one up here. And I want, you know, I should be checking these. Look at these guys. I gotta check all those out to see what I did. But we're coming along here, one step at a time. I'm pretty happy. I think we'll call that a video. And I'm off to do other things in my life now. Yes, I do other things. I don't live in my shop here, though. You must wonder sometimes. So, happy to... Hey, just before we go, let's switch bands and see what we get on get off this horrid AM band. Okay, we're up, I don't know where we are, we're up fairly high now in terms of bands. Curious, eh? What is that? Lots of funny sounds on these things these days. Well, I didn't exactly pick up any radio signals there, but not to be worried, because we still have a lot of tuning to do. I hear music behind that. So, you know, there you are. Yeah. Yeah, there is some music in behind there, so it is receiving. You have to trust me on that one, maybe. And that's it. That's it for now. Just a few more steps. I think we're going to have this radio really going well. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.